Hey, greetings everyone. This is Sister Crystal here with Other Side of 40. And I am here with a do-it-yourself project. Now, what this is I have grated up 2 bars of soap to make some homemade hand soap. During this pandemic out here, um, you got to start thinking outside the box. And I was thinking of ways to try to make my stuff stretch because, we're not going to be able to go to the store as freely as we used to. And I know a couple of days ago where I'm at, um, our governor had really suggested that we only go out once a week to shop. And they also put in a recommendation. These are only recommendations, they're not orders. But they also made a recommendation that people would wear masks. And if you didn't have a mask, you can make one from a bandana or anything like that to cover your mouth and your nose when you're out in public. They're not playing. Whatever you think is going on, it doesn't really matter. It's just something going on. So, so I am, so this recipe for making your own bar soap, it uses 2 bars of soap for a total of 8 ounces and a gallon of distilled water. And they want you to use distilled water because of the mineral content in your tap water. So use distilled water. And this is my first time doing this. So, I may not get it totally right, but I found a recipe that does not use lye because during these times, well, first of all, I am not a professional soap maker. And then for two, it's really difficult to find that kind of stuff like lye and all that. It's difficult to find that stuff. So I'm just trying to use what I have and make it stretch and make it work. So this is supposed to make a gallon of either hand soap or body wash because these came from 2 bars of soap. I will insert a picture. I had actually grated up one and I was about to grate up the other before I remembered that I hadn't taken a picture. But I'll insert the picture somewhere in here of the soap. You want to use a hard soap, like, in other words, you don't want to use soap with a lot of moisturizers in it, like Dove and stuff like that. And full disclosure, I am not sponsored by Dove, but you can, feel free to sponsor me, whatever. But no, you want to use hard soaps. Like the soap that I used for this is Safeguard. And I have not bought soap in years. Bar soap. I have not bought bar soap in years. I've bought soap, but not bar soap. I buy body wash. I prefer body washes over soap. But I'm just going through my bathroom closet and seeing what I can use to make stuff stretch. And I found these bars of soap, and I'm making this. So the directions or the information I found online says you have to let this sit for at least 8 to 24 hours. It's supposed to become like a gooey consistency. And then you have to break it up with a blender or whatever. Also, whatever you use, like this pot that I'm using and this utensil, I'm dedicating it for this soap. So you do not want to use the same pot that you've been having food in. And now, at one point, I did put food in this, but now that I'm making soap in it, I will not use this for food again. I'm just lucky that I happen to have enough pots and pans that I can sacrifice this one. And this is one of my tallest pans that I have, but I haven't really been making stuff that I would need, really tall pan. But I'll be back and show you the rest of the process in. Okay, greetings everyone. This is Sister Crystal here with Other Side of 40. And I'm here with an update with my homemade hand soap and body wash. Now, right now, it's like a little past 8:30 a.m. on Saturday, April 11th, 2020. And it's been about 11 hours since um, this was ready and I started letting it cool. Now, if you can see, it looks like some bubbles. Okay, hope it looked like bubbles have began to form on here. So from the instructions that I had, oh, okay, I hope you can see it. From the instructions that I received, it said it takes 8 to 24 hours. This definitely looked like it's going to be more, around 24 hours or more before it's completed. But it looks like some bubbles or something are forming. So it's definitely something going on. And again, all I used was distilled water, 2 bars of soap, which was a total of 8 ounces, and the soap was, it was a safeguard soap. It was a hard soap that doesn't have a whole lot of moisturizers already in it. I'll come back after it's supposed to be a full, like, gooey consistency, and then I would have to use the hand mixer. I have a hand mixer to split it up. So I definitely see something is starting to happen and form. I am going to take this off the stove and move it aside because we're going to have to still use our stove to cook and everything. So okay, this is SistahCrystal here with Other Side of 40, and I'm back. This is actually 35 and a half hours later for the soap making. Around 9:30 last night on April, what is today? April 11th, 2020. It made 24 hours. So after 24 hours, this soap that I'm making, that I made out of 2 shredded up bars of soap and some distilled water. The consistency looked like the consistency it needed to be after 24 hours. However, as being at home, I got caught up with some other stuff, and so I couldn't tend to it until this morning. But it looked like it's still the same. So I would say so far with this process, it took around it really wasn't starting to like form a goo or whatever until maybe around 20 hours in. So it at least for this, and I'm not sure why it took that long, but at least for this, around 20 hours is when I really started seeing it kind of goo up and everything like that. Okay, this is SistahCrystal here, and I am back. Now, I've practiced my holding technique a couple of times. I wanted to show you guys as I'm breaking it up. So here we go. Hopefully, now what I learned is I need to probably stick it all the way through. Oh, it's real gooey. Okay. All right, let me stop. Honestly, I don't see how this blade is doing any better than what I was just doing. Yeah, I didn't really need to do that for this. Other people, when theirs looked extra thick, but maybe it was the brand soap they used. I have to remember the soap that I used had been sitting for years. So maybe that made a difference as to the thickness of some of the soaps. Anyway, I will be right back and show you the final product. Alrighty then. Okay, so this is SistahCrystal here with Other Side of 40, and I am back. I am going to try to do this. I have my phone set up because I need both of my hands for this. So I'm going to go ahead and dip this in here. Oh, you know what? I noticed something. If you let it sit, because I was trying to set the camera up right and all this kind of stuff, it then it thickened back up again. So, okay, so this is another thing I think I realized with this soap, you're gonna have to shake it up before you use it. And you saw earlier that using that blender didn't really matter too much. So, okay, so I'm gonna get right to it. Pour this in there. And again, this is just distilled water and 2 bars of soap equaling 8 ounces of soap. And that's it. So, ooh, all right. Uh-oh. All right. Yay. Okay. So, that's one. So, I wanted to come on here at least let you guys see me fill one up. I'm going to be doing this about 4 more times. And I just put this on it, and it's ready to go. And I'll be back at the very end. Alrighty. And here is the finished product. And this will definitely last me a lot longer than this started out with 2 bars of soap that would have lasted me a little over a week. Now that I've made a gallon out of it, it's going to give me, I would say, at least another week or two, probably another 2 weeks out of it. I've been using this since April 12th when I first made it. Today is April 16th as I'm wrapping this up. And I'm almost finished with the one with the black top on it. And I'm ready to pour some more out of the gallon jug. So that gallon jug is just where I pour into the smaller ones in it. And the other one that I have SistahCrystal written on it, just kind of having a little fun with that. SistahCrystal's homemade soap. Do you want a different kind? Nope. So just making, just having a little fun with it while we're in this pandemic. So, alrighty then, I'll talk to you soon. And you guys have a great day and just stay encouraged.